growth. It's what we all want. It means doing what it takes, getting up every morning and making it happen. And we couldn't agree more. Because your success is our success. At Morris Bank, we're banking on you.
Hello, I'm Pilar Archila with Pure Gold, and I'm here, well, everybody knows Patsy Baker.
No, notorious, I guess.
Very notorious. She is the director of Keep Dublin Lawrence Beautiful right here in our own town, our beautiful Dublin. How are you, Patsy?
I'm great. We had a beautiful day for our beautiful town. It's wonderful.
Yes.
Fall weather.
For many years, I was involved with Patsy in Keep Dublin Lawrence Beautiful. Unfortunately, I have been so busy with work.
We miss you.
She missed me.
But you're making up for it by spreading the word.
Yes, and I really, really miss working with you and keeping our town beautiful. I remember several years ago, my yard was the yard of the month.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. And you were a board member.
I was a board member and the yard of the month, and that's when I used to have a beautiful
what you preach.
Yes. Now my yard is looking very pretty now again.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've been learning new tricks. Anyway, we're going to talk about today about our National America Recycles Day.
Yeah, it's actually America Recycles Day, but it is sponsored by the National Recycling Coalition, so it's kind of tricky there.
It is tricky. It's a tongue twister for me. When is that?
It's always November the 15th, every year. But we, in Dublin and Lawrence County, we celebrate it on the weekend closest to
November
the 15th.
I see.
So some years the date's different. But this year
So
it's
this year is
on the actual day.
this year is on the 16th.
15th.
15th.
Saturday.
That's right.
Saturday.
Saturday the 15th of November.
Yeah, from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
And where is that? Well, let's start. What exactly means the Recycling Day?
Okay. Well, back in the 90s, the National Recycling Coalition was trying to get America's numbers up because, the other countries, European countries and other countries, have such a high recycling rate, and they were trying to educate the Americans on, the value of it. And the value being it's not just, it is to save the environment, and it saves emissions. If you make something from scratch, you have to use a lot of water and electricity and pollutants and air pollution. So once you do that to make it, to use it again, if you just recycle it, you cut that way down, so it's very low. But if people don't recycle and keep having to make things from raw materials, it's very consumes a lot of energy and pollutes the environment. So the biggest thing, that's the environmental part. And we know about global warming because now they're saying again, it's real. So sometimes we get to think, it's not real, but it's
back
real
and forth,
right now.
But now it's real.
It's real right now. And then jobs in our community, in our state, because Georgia is a big recycling state, believe it or not. We have markets. We have aluminum, paper mills, and plastic and tires. Most of our markets are in the northern part of the state. It's why really in the southern rural counties you don't see, like you see in metro Atlanta, the recycling rates are way high. For us to get our things to the market is quite a hard trick. But since Southeast Paper has made a deal through Department of Community Affairs, had a big program trying to get hubs across the state where small markets could pool together and take it to a larger market. So Solid Waste Management Authority and Keep Georgia Beautiful, and I attended some meetings. They all got together, and we didn't get to be a hub. We applied. But what came from that is Southeast Paper still said they would allow us to collect single string, and then they would ship it to their Materials Recovery Unit, MRF, up there in Forest Park. So we have a perfect situation. We can recycle easily, and it doesn't cost us anything. We don't have to do the infrastructure that some folks have to do.
That's good.
So it's really no excuse for us not to recycle.
Exactly. Well, and not only, I mean, some people think, well, why recycling? Think about your children and your grandchildren. We want to leave them a better place to live.
I was trying to see, I had some other reasons. I wanted to make sure I didn't. And the landfill is a big reason. And that is for the children, like you say, because it takes, acres and acres. I've forgotten how many acres. But our landfills, it's about the size of the town of Dudley, the landfill. It's not a small place.
No.
And there's cells in it.
And it's not a pretty place either.
It's not a pretty place, but compared to some landfills, our landfill looks pretty good.
Oh.
Every day they come and they cover it with dirt and move things around. They compost things out there, and they keep it neat and policed. So we have a good landfill, but so we want to take care of it. It's very expensive to build a new one, millions and millions of dollars. Of course, like we learned when we tried to site this one, nobody wants a landfill anywhere near them, so we better take care of what we got. So keeping these things out of the landfill by recycling is wonderful.
Just recently I went to San Francisco to visit my son and his wife, and in the supermarkets you cannot have a plastic bag. You have to bring your own.
I'm not really on the bandwagon for that train because there are programs that recycle those bags. It's called A Bag's Life. If you go online, abagslife.com, and it has,
and they
type in your zip code, and in Dublin it lists Penny's, Harvey's, Walmart, Kroger. All these stores will take those bags back, and that's what you make park benches, that kind of plastic. You make hard picnic tables and things, so that plastic is a good thing, and it's a number 2, so it can go in your number 2 recycling.
Right.
So if they are bad if they're left to blow around and pollute, but just like any other plastic, plastics do have a downside, all plastics, but our life now revolves around plastics.
And we can recycle them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really not saying ban them, because I've read a lot of articles about people getting salmonella from their shopping bags. People don't think you get your meats in it, the meat strip. You don't think to wash it out. So they can be dangerous. But it is good. But I can't imagine me with my 12 bags coming out of the grocery store.
We went for Thanksgiving last year, and I was buying stuff to make a real nice Thanksgiving meal. And to my surprise, they didn't have bags. And then our son said, "Mom, you have to bring your own bags." And I thought, I need to learn.
I did see in one article that was talking about they would sell you a corrugated brown bag for 10 cents a piece. Well, of course, somebody's making money on that. That's not a good deal. So I really think it's kind of overrated. You should be responsible with them. Make sure they end up in the trash can, tied up in your trash so they don't blow around. But I use them for trash can liners. I use them for picnics. I use them, soiled diapers in the car. They have a place. So
they have a place.
I'm not ready to ban the bag yet.
So, Patsy, on Saturday, the 15th of November, here in Dublin, where do we go for the recycling?
Okay, right here at the farmers market. It's real easy. I think the market's closed, but there'll be some folks down here with information, any business that wants to come, even if you haven't signed up. If your business is environmental or involves recycling, or you're a school group, or somebody just wants to talk about and hang around about recycling, kind of gather up under the shelter. And then we'll have electronics recycling, because that's not really something that's provided for in our system either right now. Computer Solutions is coming and doing it free. Of course, they make money from it, which is fine, as long as it doesn't go to the landfill.
Right.
So you can bring,
and we don't have those items in our house, and we don't know what to do,
Anything that plugs in, you can bring toasters, phones, lamps, and computers and cameras and laptops and iPads and all that, and they'll take them. And most of them, if they're able to refurbish, they refurbish and sell. But a lot of it, if they're totally not usable, they strip them down by a certified company. So no little people in China are throwing it into the ocean or anything. They're certified, so they will take care and see that every piece of the recyclables is used and sent to the proper place. So we appreciate them doing that.
All right. Patsy, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. here I am with Patsy Baker. Keep Dublin Lawrence beautiful.
There you go. I've changed my name so many times. People aren't sure what to call us. That's what we are today.
Yeah, we are Keep Dublin Lawrence beautiful. The day of the recycling day, on Saturday, the 15th of November.
There you go.
We can bring all paper, newspapers, all kinds of recycling items.
Anything that goes in the single stream program, which is at the collection centers, the 19 centers are all working toward having bins at every center, the same bins, because I think it's only fair if you pay your $50 in the county that you should have the same opportunities no matter which center you go to. So they're working toward that. A little way to go, so you might have to go to your attendant and ask them, why don't we have, or call your commissioner and say, why doesn't my center have recycling?
Yeah,
and just to let them know that you're interested, because it really, things like that, the public's opinion means a lot to our officials, so let them know if you want recycling in your area, you have to let them know that. But in the single stream bin, for city and county, it's all kinds of paper, anything that tears, they say, as long as it's clean. No pizza boxes with pizza, or those things contaminate the bin and attract bugs and mess the whole process up. So if you're not sure about something, just throw it away. It's better.
It's better than contaminate
than contaminating the whole bin. So magazines, junk mail, newspaper, gift wrap, anything that's paper, throw it in there if it's clean. And no staples and no gym clips and things that'll gum up. Because it goes into a machine and it's out these paper. When it's pressed out, they showed us what one little sticky note could do. Anything that's self-adhesive is bad for it too. Okay. It'd make a long string through a perfectly long roll of paper. So it ruins a whole batch.
Yes.
So if you can't follow the rules, don't do it. The plastics are only plastics 1 and 2. Even though you have something you bought at the store and it says recycle.
Now, for those who do not know, when you said 1 and 2, where they can find that in a plastic?
It's very hard if you're older. Because like a Coke bottle and things, even on the bottom of small plastic things, there's a circle with the arrows.
That's right.
Like these arrows. And inside the arrow, there's a number 1 through 7. And only 1s and 2s are in our program. In Atlanta and some places, they have the market 7s and
for
things
different
are okay.
And that's, I guess, the reason they have a number in there.
Oh, yeah, because
us, 1 and 2.
Otherwise, it's going to mess up the whole, it's like baking a cake. It puts the wrong thing, and somebody's got to pick that out, and they might miss it, and there you go again. So do it right, just 1s and 2s. And usually that's milk jugs and soda bottles, but I've seen a lot of detergent bottles and things with 2 on there. So just check out the bottom, and if in doubt, throw it out. And then we have the metals. Most all metals are fine for recycling bin. Aluminum and
soda cans. Aluminum.
That's mostly what we think of that. Steel cans, like your vegetable cans, those can go in there. And like I said, anything metal, if it's small enough to fit in the bin, can go in there. So, but you have to have everything else off of it. Things like Pringle cans that people say, well, it's paper and that's metal, but if they're connected, you have to throw it away because there's no way to separate it.
Right.
So make sure that you do paper in the paper bin, but of course in our program it's all mixed together, but it still needs to be right mixed. Yeah. And glass, I get calls every day about glass. No glass is allowed in any of the programs. We tried glass in the city and the county before, and if you're not very careful, somebody will sneak in and throw a brown box of bottles into the white glass, and there you go. Then when they get to the market, we'd take it to Warner Robins, which wasn't that far, but they would reject it. So we had to drive all the way back with it and then put it in the landfill. So you had all that expense about collecting it, traveling with it,
taking it,
and then back, and still having to landfill it. So until somebody comes up with a better system, we can't do glass in Lawrence County.
Or a better solution.
Yeah.
What about, I know every year you take care of the Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah, because
I've been
here
materials early.
Yes, you have. Banned from the landfill. Yard waste and things are banned from the lined landfill because it takes up needless space and can punch holes in it. So there's an inert landfill. It's where they put things that aren't in the regular trash. But to save that space, they've banned the trees from the landfill and so they chip them into mulch. And our landfill has a wonderful compost program. It's a new thing they use, and they sell it. It's like black gold. They take all kind of solid waste and mix it together, and it comes out magic. But the Christmas trees, we grind those. Georgia Power always sponsors a grinder, and when they're ground up, you can bring your own bag and take your mulch home. It smells wonderful. Use it in your yard and use it for the green component when you're making compost.
Right.
Or we let people get it for erosion, or we use it in parks if any of the parks or public places need it. And it's just a wonderful day.
I remember several years ago, you will bring your tree and you will go home with a tree. And I went home with a tree, and my tree, I mean, it's been years ago that I've been, I was helping with keep Dublin Lawrence beautiful, and my tree is beautiful.
That's wonderful. Every year, I guess for the past at least 10 years, we've given seedlings out. They used to come from the forestry department to the state government, cut back and stopped, and YKK stepped in. And every year, YKK provides the trees for the last 3 years, the seedlings for our community, so we do want to.
Yeah, mine is probably 7 or 8 years old, and it's beautiful.
Dogwoods and this year the forestry department's going to start again with the local, but they have a raffle. You have to sign up, and who draws, what community's drawn, they get the trees. So we probably went. I signed up, but we still need YKK. I'm afraid. That's where I'm not very lucky. But,
we need lucky people to come and do the drawing.
And we try to do the electronics that day too. It's January the 3rd. It's always the first weekend after New Year's.
You see, wait to bring your tree down until after the New Year's, not the 25th of December.
Yeah, I do that. I've always done that because I think the holidays go all the way, and then Epiphany, when the
all the way to January the 6th. I mean, that's how I do it.
But if you prefer to take it down, you can
put it in your garage until the 3rd.
Save it. If you want a seedling, you better save it and bring it with you. If not, if you put it by this curb, the city has been rounding up the trees and trying to bring some of them out there to us, but you don't get a seedling. So if you want to take advantage of the free seedling, and they're good trees, and they're always pretty tall and healthy.
Yeah, so, beautiful.
That's a program that started in the 90s. A lot of good things have happened over the year through the Department of Community Affairs.
Right.
So that's one of the programs that started there.
Let's talk about Teen Challenge.
That is a good thing, and they are big recyclers.
Wonderful.
They take lives that are broken and sold, and they refresh them and renew them and recycle lives. But that's their purpose, and they do a wonderful job. And they make sure the guys are really active in community service.
Yes.
So they've always been sort of our base for those hands we need when we're all getting older. Yeah, we always need those guys to help us. And they've never turned us down on cleanup days, recycling days, anything we've ever asked them to do. So this year, they have gone into the recycling business sort of with their thrift store, Super Thrift, over in East Dublin. And they're going to bring a couple of their boxes with them where you can bring your household goods, your clothes, your shoes, anything good and clean and
that is
usable.
Still good
that
and
is
usable,
still good,
yes.
To bring on to the electronics recycling day, single stream, and then you can make everything at one time. Bring your repurposed things. That's the new word. It's a repurposed things. So they can take that.
And other people can use them.
And I love to shop there. I find some good deals. And they encourage people, and I encourage people to go to Goodwill and Salvation Army because they want you to buy also. It doesn't do them good to have those stores stocked.
Right.
And if
and
nobody's purchasing the
goes.
goods.
Yes.
So don't feel like you're taking away from anybody because the money that you spend there goes back into building lives. So
into our community and our people and good recycling.
It's a good recycling program.
Patsy, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
every
you.
time I'm with you, I have fun.
You make life fun, too.
And until next time, Patsy, and I'm glad that we had time to be together in this wonderful recycling.
And it should be a beautiful day Saturday, just a little nippy, but a good day to, maybe we'll have coffee here for you when you get here.
All right. We'll come for the coffee. Thank you for watching, and until next time.